As a performer, people will insult you and the work that you do all the time. You put yourself out there, and you know what? People are allowed to have an opinion, but let's talk about how to deal with negative opinions on your work. If you've ever worked a professional contract, we all know what it's like to go on for a show, start singing, start dancing, and to see a table stand up and walk out the room. My advice, don't take it personally. Remember, everybody has the right to an opinion, and you know what? They might have had a dinner reservation and they might have had somewhere exciting to go. So try not to think it was anything to do with you. It's also important to remember at this stage that you wouldn't have been hired to do a performance contract if you weren't of the ability to do the shows and the material that they were putting on. You are good, you auditioned for the role, you did the work to get the role, and you learnt the shows and you're putting them on wonderfully. Just because one person decided to get up and walk out or complain about the show doesn't mean that it's not a good show. And you know what? Even if complaints are made, you kind of have to remind yourself that they're not professionals. They don't know what they're talking about. They're not performers. They're just the general public wanting to have an opinion here and there. That doesn't mean it's the correct one. And if you're watching this as a performer about to go into your first contract, trust me, as much as there is some negative feedback, there is way more positive feedback. There are going to be people that come to your shows and you are going to make their time, you're going to make their night, they're absolutely going to love it. And that will stick with you a lot more than the negative person that walked out of the room like 2 seconds into the show. So keep hold of the positives. Try and only let yourself think about the positives that people said to you. Remember them. As soon as you hear a negative comment, let it go. And it's just a reminder that just as there are trolls and nasty people online, they exist in real life too. And if somebody comes up to you and they're nasty, let their comments go. They're probably just having a really bad day themselves, because there's no need to put people down. And even though we shouldn't have to, I think it is important as performers that we grow a thick skin. And that's something that's thrown around a lot in training and a lot when we're learning how to become performers, that you have to have a thick skin, because people will tell you when things are bad, people will tell you when they don't like things, and you've got to take it, you've got to better yourself, and that's fine. But if somebody isn't educated and is insulting you, ignore it. On the other hand, if your boss is telling you something needs to be better, fine. They know what they're talking about. Do you know what I mean? Like, take that and use it. That's constructive criticism. That's not just trying to be cruel. So yeah, just like we'd say online, ignore the haters, ignore the people that have no clue what they're talking about, and ignore the people whose lives that you wouldn't want to live. Have a great time performing, and remember, forget all the negative stuff, stick to the positives, and have a great show tonight.